What is up, y'all? Welcome on back to a brand new review series. I am finally jumping into the mini-series from 2024, Shogun. I absolutely fucking loved that series when it originally released, and I've been meaning to really just go back into the series, dive into it. I'm reading the book while I'm watching it to kind of give me a different perspective of the mediums, and I am super excited to recap and review all 10 episodes of the Shogun miniseries. Now, granted, I say miniseries, this was originally conceived as a miniseries, and now there's a season 2, so I'm going to be glazing the Shogun series for 10 episodes. So just go ahead and just be prepared for that. But I do plan on recapping and reviewing every single episode. So if you have not seen episode 1 of Shogun, this is your time to pause this, go watch it, and then come back to this episode because I will be talking full spoilers from this point forward. And you should 100% go watch this series. Like, watch it as we review it every single week. It is absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about this show. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Episode 1 is titled Anjin. So in 1600, the Taiko has recently died, leaving the rule split among 5 equal regents who protect the Taiko's child heir at Osaka Castle. The Dutch trading ship Erasmus and its starving crew arrive on the Izu Peninsula in the southern domains of Edo, which is now Tokyo. The survivors, including English pilot John Blackthorne, are taken prisoner by a local samurai. So what's so good about episode 1 is the fact that they do a great job of building this immersive world where you are just solely focused on 1600s Japan and nothing else. And they really bring you into the storyline very quickly. We, as the viewer, are John Blackthorne in this story, and then when he washes up on the shore of this unknown land, they do a really good job of really showing you just how lost John Blackthorne is in this land. He's trying to treat him like he normally would, like how he would expect to be talked to and stuff like that, like stuff that he's used to, and it's completely different to the Japanese. They demand respect. They get talked to a certain way, and they bow, and they do all these different things in their society, and they view him as a barbarian, as a savage. But on the flip side of things, he views them the exact same way with how they treat their prisoners, because the crew of the Erasmus is down like this little pit area, and they start like fighting some of the Japanese people when they go down there. They just drop down like buckets of like animal guts and shit like that. And that's the first taste that John Blackthorne gets of the Japanese people, where he's calling them fucking savages. But they both view each other the same in different ways, and they both see each other as the enemy here. And that's the great thing about this show. They're not trying to paint one as the bad guy or one as the good guy. You know, they both have their differences in their beliefs, and they do a really good job of showing that here, that one's not more evil than the other. They're just different sides to the same coin. And Blackthorne learns very early on that these beliefs, these traditions of the Japanese are completely different than anything that he even knows. And that's one of the things that kind of continues throughout this series, where he's a fish out of water here. He doesn't understand anything, not only like doesn't understand the language, but he doesn't understand how they go about doing things on a daily basis. And it's very foreign to him. Like, one guy gets beheaded in front of him because all he did was talk while they were walking by him. Like, Japanese, again, demand respect. They demand good manners. And he just realizes he's in a completely different world here. They even boil a dude to death with his screams filling the village. They just do a really good job of kind of bringing you in, giving you some compelling, interesting scenery, which, by the way, the cinematography looks fucking fantastic. I love the look of this show, and a lot of it is practical, which is even better. And again, we are Blackthorne in this story. We're in this foreign land. We don't understand what's going on, just like he doesn't understand. So I just think they do a great job of bringing you in as a viewer. The entrenched Portuguese traders and the Catholic Church's Jesuit order are the political and religious rivals of the Protestant Blackthorne. The local Jesuit priest immediately attempts to have Blackthorne executed, claiming him to be a pirate, but the fief's ruler, Yabushigi, dismisses the request and plans to use the Erasmus and its weapons to his benefit. At Osaka Castle, 4 regents led by Lord Ishido initiate the process to impeach and thereby condemn to death the 5th regent, Toranaga, who is played by Hiroyuki Sanada, one of my favorite Japanese actors. If he's in a fucking movie, a Japanese movie of any sorts, I'm fucking watching it. One of my favorite movies with him, he was in The Last Samurai. Fucking, not only do I love that movie, but I love him in that movie. So yeah, I will watch anything and everything with him. And it's no different in this show. Really great acting, really great character overall. One of my favorite characters in TV series, period. I thought they did a great job of writing him. And I think early on, they do a great job of making him like, there's lots of instant likable characters in this show. Toranaga is one of them. Like, as soon as he's on screen, he demands your attention. He is a scene stealer, and he's just a instant likable character for me. And while he may not be the viewer in this story, he's definitely one that we can root for in the story for sure. And this sequence of the show where we have Toranaga versus Ishido and the other 3 clans, the tension between, the other clans are a part of it for sure, but it's really Toranaga versus Ishido, and that tension is fucking palpable. I love the tension between these 2 characters, the conflict between these 2. Every time they're on screen, I'm glued to it. Following a spy's report, Toranaga's general Hiramatsu confiscates the Erasmus and its cargo before bringing Blackthorn to Osaka. On the way, Blackthorn takes command of the ship during a storm when the Spanish navigator Rodriguez is washed overboard, and Rodriguez is saved by Blackthorn and Yabushige. Blackthorn is then taken to Osaka Castle, where he meets Toranaga and Lady Mariko. So lots of things I just want to briefly mention about the rest of this episode. And I'll start with Blackthorn. Blackthorn, great character. Again, he is the viewer in this storyline. So when he finds shit out, we're finding shit out. The dude is pretty funny. When you listen to the dialogue, the dude is constantly talking shit. And I'm not sure if people recognize this, but it took me a couple episodes the first time that I watched it to know this. But these are 2 different languages being spoken the entire time. It's not English, Portuguese, and then Japanese. It is Portuguese and Japanese. Just all the Portuguese people are speaking English in this series, but really they're speaking Portuguese during the storyline, if that makes any sense. I just didn't want to do subtitles for the entire show, which I understand. But them not understanding each other between Blackthorn and all the Japanese, or Japanese not understanding him, the dude is just constantly talking shit to the Japanese. And they kind of pick up on like the facial expressions of Blackthorn, so they realize that he's kind of being hostile. But a lot of the times he's just standing there, just straight faced, talking shit to them, and they don't even know it. And it's some pretty good dialogue, I'm not gonna lie. So I really like Blackthorn as they start him off in this episode. But my favorite character of the entire show introduced towards the end of this episode, and that is Mariko. She is without a doubt the best character. She is one that the viewer can root for. She's compelling. She's interesting. She is a scene stealer on top of all that. And they just did such a great job of making us care for her character super early on. Because during the meeting between Toranaga and Ishido, one of the guys from Toranaga's clan ends up interrupting them while they're talking and really embarrasses Toranaga and his family, and basically has to kill his born child. And the mother doesn't understand it. She wants to kill herself because why is my son being punished here when he had nothing to do with this? And Mariko comes in there and really just, you can see it through her facial expressions, like how much she actually cares about this. She doesn't agree with it, you can tell, but hey, these are the way that things have to be done. I'm going to help you through it. And she's just instantly likable, just in a brief, shorter period of time in this episode. Absolutely love her character. And then we have Yabushige. Like, I wouldn't describe him as like eccentric or like strange or anything like that. I don't think I would describe him as that. But he's very like quirky, and I really like how he's introduced here, where it kind of brings in a little bit of the Game of Thrones aspect of the show early on where he's trying to scheme against everybody else, where he's like, hey, let's take this ship, and when Toranaga gets killed by the other clans, we'll present this ship to them, and then we'll be in good favor, and we'll kind of use this situation to our benefit. And he's already scheming, and I love that aspect of this episode where we're getting a different style characters. It's not just all rainbows and butterflies and people joining together and under one common goal. It's this tug of war action going on where they're trying to fight for control of either more land, more power. So to have him there, where he's completely different than some of the other characters we've gotten so far. He's just ultimately a schemer. He's just very quirky. Now, the scene between him and Blackthorn, where it's in the rain, almost a 1-to-1 from the book. The book is so far, I wouldn't say totally different, because some of the things are obviously happening that's happened from the book, but like the dialogue is, I wouldn't say 1-to-1, but it's pretty fucking close to what happened in the book. And it's really good. The book is, I would say it is, I haven't read enough of it to really have an overall opinion about it so far, but I'm enjoying the book for sure. So if you are interested in this show and in this series, then you should definitely go read the book. It's a thick boy though. I know the audiobook is like 40 plus hours, so just be prepared for that. So yeah, this was a great first episode. This is a fantastic pilot episode, which is funny because Anjin translates to pilot, it being the first episode, pilot episode, and then Blackthorn being the pilot. I love the symmetry there with that name. But anyways, the great first episode, especially for a series. It really hooks you and then leaves you wanting more, because we have these multiple storylines going on with Toranaga and the Blackthorn, and then those storylines converge at the end of this episode, and you're like, shit, they just met each other. I want the next episode. And I remember watching this series for the first time, and when he arrives in Osaka and to meet Toranaga, and it's just like, damn, give me the next one right the fuck now. So this does what a truly great pilot episode should do. It should hook you and really make you want that second episode immediately. I'm excited to really dive back into this series. Guys, let me know down in the comments below of what you thought about episode 1. Who are your favorite characters so far through episode 1? And while you're there, hit that like and subscribe button. Really helps us out. That's going to be it from me. I will see y'all on episode 2 next week. Laters.